Our Father, because we realize that our dreams and our hopes become reality more often than not by the help of others, and that frequently that help takes the beautiful form of generosity. We come at this time to offer our thanksgiving, our deep sense of gratitude to Thee for those who have given of their meaning of their lives, the investment of their very lives in the establishment of foundations, and their expression of generosity to make it possible for this dream of a new facility on our campus to become a reality. We thank Thee for those who care enough to invest, to make it possible for young people and those of us who pursue the development of young people to contribute to the well-being of our community and the society by what we do. We also have come to commit ourselves to the proper use of this facility, to contribute to the all-around development of our students and the growth of our faculty. Bless what takes place here today, and may it indeed be only the beginning of greater and more wonderful days ahead for this institution, in which so many have invested so much across the years. Bless, we pray Thee, this beginning, and may its completion exalt Thy greatness. For we pray in Thy name and for Thy sake. Amen.
this is a special occasion. And a portion of this special occasion consists of special guests that we have with us today. And I would like to take a moment to recognize these special guests who have an interest in this institution for one reason or another, and or a concern for higher education in other institutions. I know I cannot recognize all of the categories and everything, but there are a few groups that I would like to ask to stand just a moment, that you might be recognized. Bluefield College is owned and operated by a board of trustees. And we have the joy of having a number of those trustees here today. And I would like not only the trustees but their spouses please to stand, because I know who gives encouragement in the case of our married trustees to those who serve. So if you would please stand, our trustees and their spouses. We're delighted that you would be a part of our program today. We're playing. We have a number of college and university representatives here today. These are our friends, these are our colleagues in sharing the truth and the light. And we would like to ask those of you who are representing various colleges and universities, if you would please stand. I well know the schedule that you have, and for that reason I appreciate even more your taking time out to be with us. Bluefield College has always been unashamedly, yet we feel not narrowly, committed to religious education. And we depend on our pastors, our ministers, our clergymen. We depend on our denomination very much in this our task. And we have here today a number of clergymen and denominational representatives. And if you are a clergyman, we claim you whether you are a Baptist or not, because you are part of us. And we would like to ask all of our clergymen and our denominational representatives to please stand. We thank you for the contributions that you have made to this institution. I want to, really this is the wrong order in which to do it by Navy standards, but I'm going to jump out of order so that we might not have too much confusion here today. Because this next group is the group that should be recognized last. We have today with us, I'm very pleased at the number of people who are members of the Shott family and who are members of the Shott Foundation. And I would like for the members of the Shott family and the Shott Foundation, if you would, please stand. Obviously, this day would not be without you. Now, there are many other guests here today, and some of you are sprinkled out in the auditorium area. Dr. and Ms. Harmon are seated over here. He said in the H section for Harmon. I guess he's that organized as a scientist that he is. And so they're seated in the H section, but there may be other guests scattered throughout the group. If you are a guest with us today in other categories, I know Professor Trent is here, one of our previous faculty members and the backbone of the program of pre-engineering and engineering at VPI, and a lot of others. So I'm not going to try to mention your name. If you're a guest with us today on this occasion, would you please stand that we might recognize you and that the students may see where you are? Please. The book of Hebrews gives a roll call of the faithful from the Hebrew Scriptures. And then the writer of that great book continues by saying, seeing that we are compassed about by so great a cloud of witnesses. And by witnesses he meant those people who can give testimony. Those people who can stand in the court and raise their hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and tell the story as they experienced it. To the student body today, I would like to remind you, as I must remind myself, concerning my relationship to Dr. Harmon, to people like Professor Trent and others, that this institution today is built on the foundations of the past. Of those witnesses that have gone before us, some of whom stand here today, others not able to stand in the body here today, to bear witness to the fact that something can be done with life as we commit it unto the Almighty. I would like to say to the student body also, as we gather here and think of this section of the book of Hebrews, that you, many of you, will soon become a part of that past. And you are building foundations for the future, for future students, for future programs, for future expansions. And of you too, it will soon be said that you are a part of the great crowd of witnesses. Certainly one of those groups of witnesses that has meant a lot to this institution throughout its history has been the Shott family. Mr. Hugh I. Shott was involved with those who were instrumental in bringing this college to this community. We have had the privilege of having 3 of the members of the Shott family as students at this institution. And through all of these years, through many members of the family, the Shott family has given of itself, of its interest, of its time, of its talent, and certainly of its finances, that this institution might continue. I think it is very fitting that not as the climax, but as this, a point along the way in the history of Bluefield College, one of the members of the Shott family has arisen to a point of real extreme significance in the development of this institution. This is Mr. Hugh Shott, Jr. We had hoped that he would be able to be with us today. This was one of the reasons we planned the groundbreaking at this time and inside. Because we wanted you as students, and many maybe even as faculty members who have never met Mr. Shott, to get a chance to see him and to meet him and to know the personhood that lies behind that which we'll be beginning very shortly in terms of a building. Because buildings are extensions of persons who have made those buildings possible. Mr. Shott was taken to the hospital. I understand that it is not a matter of extreme seriousness, and yet under any circumstances care needs to be taken with respect to Mr. Shott's health. And we regret that he is not able to be with us today. We're hoping that we will be able to have him on campus at a future time, maybe just to come and have coffee at the break time on a Monday or a Friday and some of you students want to come by and get a chance to meet this really giant of our community, we would like for you to do that. His place is ably taken today by Mr. Scott Shott, and so you will take note of this modification in the program. This is a time of thanksgiving. It is a time of appreciation. It is a time of remembering those who have brought us to this day. But it is also a time of commitment on our parts, faculty, trustees, administration, students, staff, all of us. It is a time of commitment that we have not seen the end yet. We thank you, guests, for being with us today. And we as an institution want to thank Mr. Hugh I. Shott Jr. and the Hugh I. Shott Jr. Foundation for making possible the building of the Hugh I. Shott, or as he has chosen in his modesty to designate it, so that all of the family is enveloped in it, the Shott Student Union Building. To you, we give our thanks. Somebody said whenever we started talking about groundbreaking, and we said it would be at Harmon Chapel, asked if we were going to have an oversized kitty litter box, and that's exactly what we have. We know the weather. After 14 years nearly here, we know the weather at Bluefield. And though the Lord saw fit just to snow on the grass today, it could have been all over the place. And in our desire to have Mr. Shott with us, if he could possibly be here, we felt that it would be appropriate to have a symbolic groundbreaking and have it here in the chapel where it would be a little bit more comfortable for all concerned. And for that reason, we have an oversized kitty litter box and a shovel. And we're going to ask now, I have one addition to those who will be turning a spade in this symbolic groundbreaking. I want to ask Mr. William Huber, who is the architect with Eccles, Sparger, and Associates out of Marion, Virginia, who led us through the design development stage of this building, who led us through the plans and specification stage of the building, and who will lead us through the supervisory stage of the building of this building. If Mr. William Huber would come and turn the first spade of dirt. This is a student union building, and it would be most inappropriate if we did not ask the president of our Student Government Association, Ms. Jeannie Warner, to come and see if that shovel fits her hand too. By the way, any of you folks who have a speech you have prepared today and want to make, please feel free to make it, you know. We have asked a representative of the Alumni Association, the alums of the school, who also happens to be on the Board of Trustees, whose name goes deeply into the soil of this community, Mr. James S. Dudley, Jr., who is from Atlanta, and who has come to from Atlanta to Bluefield today for this occasion. If he would turn a spade of dirt, and if he has anything he would like to say, certainly the microphone is yours, Mr. Dudley.
Please greet James. He didn't tell you he was asked me to do this. In behalf of the student body, because you see, at one time I sat out there. It's been a long time. But Will James, a great philosopher of the last century, said that the greatest discovery of the 19th century is that man could change his destiny by changing his mind. And I want all of us who are students to never forget that our thoughts will determine our actions, and our actions repeated will determine our habits. And the habits developed over a lifetime determine our character, and our character ultimately determines our destiny. And throughout this process, whether it's an individual or whether it's an institution, there are those individuals who stand head and shoulders above the masses. And those individuals lead our thoughts into greener pastures and give us greater ideas. And out of those greater ideas, greater thoughts are developed and greater actions are taken, and the process continues. And so in behalf of all of us who were students and who still are students, I want to thank the House of Shott for not just making this building possible, but possibly having a permanent effect on the minds of the student body and the minds of the trustees. And may God grant that all of us will have a different thought process which will bring about different actions, different habits, different character. And out of this process, this institution may grow faster to ultimately become that center of learning, which was the dream of those men who originally made it possible. Thank you.
One who has known this school, well, not as long as some who are in this place, but longer than certainly any of us who are on campus now. One whom we respect and one who comes today to represent the faculty in the turning of a spade of dirt, Dr. Primitivo Delgado, or as we lovingly call him, Dr. Del.
I do this for the faculty. And you notice they put me between the students and the president. We are a buffer state.
I have already deviated at times from the program. When we started planning this, I indicated we will have a printed program and we will plan basically to follow it. But as in all situations, let's be loose enough to adjust in case there are changes. My biblical comments talked about the building of the past and talked about the building of the future on the present. And for this reason, I would like to ask Dr. Charles Harmon to come to the stage. And even as he has assisted me time and again, to assist me in the breaking of the ground.
my life. And I appreciate the opportunities that I've had through the years of working with these young people. God has been good to me and my family and to this institution. And we give him all the praise in Jesus' name.
For those of you students who did not check the catalog on this matter, Dr. Harmon served this school for 26 years. I would like to ask next that Mr. Ralph Van Dyke from Abingdon, the chairman of the board of trustees of Bluefield College, come and turn a spade of dirt and make any comments he might have to make.
Last fall sometime, there was some hush-hush rumors running around that there might be a possibility of getting a donor for a student center. Mr. Jim Dudley is very modest because Jim, through his friendship and contacts with the Mr. Hugh Ike Shott, I think started the wheels rolling that is terminating here today. We knew nothing officially until Mr. Hugh Ike Shott called a press conference in November and told us what he was going to do. But the contact with the foundation has been Jim Dudley and Dr. Tyre, and I think we owe them a thank you or gratitude that was developed into this occasion today.
Van Dyke, it looks like you know how to use that shovel. Nor were they red, white, and blue. Certainly one of the first friends that I met and made when I came to Bluefield. Now the chairman of the Hugh I. Shott Jr. Foundation. It's difficult for me to say it this way, but it was Mr. R.W. Wilkinson, because most of us know him as Buzz or Buzzy. He was All-American for the University of Virginia in basketball, and he has some tales to tell about that in the old gym that I have heard on a couple of occasions. And we would like for Mr. Wilkinson to come and on behalf of the foundation make any comments he might have and to turn a spade of dirt.
Thank you, Charles. I'm pleased to be here today on behalf of Mr. Shott. I talked to him this morning and asked him what I might say on his behalf. Charles said he's in the hospital, and it's not anything that we think is real serious. He's run a little temperature and got some chest congestion, and as a precaution, they put him in the hospital last night. And he said, well, I really didn't plan this. He'd really look forward to coming today and sharing this occasion to watch this building go up. Excuse me. When he started this foundation last year, the idea was to raise the quality of life, the economic opportunities of people in this area. I've never known this man to do anything that wasn't in this area, this community's best interest. And the mission of this foundation was to help those people that made his businesses prosper and grow through the years. And there's no better way to do that than, as Jim Dudley said, than through the development of minds and through schools. This school has a lot of local people who go to school here that had no place to go during the day, put their clothes, put their books, study or loaf, or just to visit with each other. A lot of education is the interchange of those ideas between those people. They need a place to do that. And it was a great opportunity here for us to do something that would help our community, help our young people, and improve our opportunities for the future. The Shott Student Building will provide that space for these young people to develop and grow. And as I said in the beginning in talking to Hugh yesterday, and again this morning, he said, please express my hello, my best wishes, and that I'm sorry I'm not there myself. And along with Scotty, representing, as Dr. Delgado said, he represents the faculty, and representing Mr. Hugh, I'm pleased to turn a spade of dirt.
As Mr. Jim Dudley put it, it would be inappropriate for us to come to this occasion without a representative officially of the House of Shott. And with Mr. Hugh not being able to be with us today, I cannot think of anyone who delights my life any more by his coming than Mr. Scott Shott.
Problems in being last on the program is that most things that should be said have already been said, so my comments will be brief. My uncle did ask me to express to you his regrets that he couldn't be with us today, and my brother John had to be out of town, and he sends his regrets as well. As Dr. Tyre said, the Shott family has had a close relationship with Bluefield College for many years. My brothers Jim and John and my son Scott all attended Bluefield College. So we have a strong and warm affection for this school, and we're delighted and proud to be a part of this progressive step today. Thank you.
On behalf of Bluefield College and all that are represented in the college, I would like to present this plaque to Mr. Wilkinson and to Mr. Shott. It is inscribed, Shott Student Union Building, Bluefield College, 3 March 1986, and appropriately it has a big old shovel up there at the top. It may not be red, white, and blue, but in keeping with the Shott family's dedication to this institution and this community, it's good. I've been asked to make a few announcements. I don't guess you could have a Baptist meeting without them. A reception has been prepared for those of you who have a moment and would like to mingle with the ones who are on the stage and those who are guests with us. We have prepared this for Mr. Hugh Shott's convenience, and it is right behind the curtains here. So if you would please come from the south side, over here on this side. East River Mountain is to the south. I always say if I put my backside that way, I'll never get lost, because that's east, that's west, and that's north. So if you'll come from the south side over there, come up on the stage, and then after you finish, you may depart from the north side of the stage for the reception. We do not have a formal lunch for those who are visiting from out of town, but certainly there will be several of us who will be having lunch in the dining hall today, and we'll be delighted to have you relive some student time in your life, going through the line, getting your food, and then taking with the students and others who will be present. We appreciate what you have done. Mr. Shott, you and your family, Mr. Wilkinson, as the president of the foundation. We hope that we will carry the name of Shott in the Student Union building with pride and with the dignity that we know it deserves. Thank you. We appreciate those guests who are here today. We appreciate your coming. We've got a good group, a good group. And this says some things about interest in this community and other communities concerning Bluefield College. We appreciate those who are employed by the colleges being present. After all, you were told to be here, so I guess you didn't have too much to do with it. And students, y'all the same. Y'all were... Aha, it has just come in. We have been sweating this one out. It has been ordered, it has been prepared, and we've been trying to get picture and frame together. And as of 10 o'clock this morning, it wasn't here. And Dr. Burkert has been sitting on pins and needles hoping that it would be brought in. And it is here now, I see. And this is a portrait that will go in the Shott Student Union building of Mr. Hugh I. Shott, Jr. And so you will want to take a peek at that picture as you make your exit off the stage and see the one who has made this possible today. We appreciate your joining this cloud of witnesses today in this event. Now, if we will please turn to the right side of the interfold. The two previous faculty members of Bluefield College, Dr. Zambas and Dr. Stovall, are the authors of the alma mater of Bluefield College. And we would invite you to stand and, as is your own personal tradition, join with us in singing, or certainly join with us in reverence for our alma mater. so very frequently people work real hard on preludes and postludes, and nobody hears them for the racket that's going on. I would like for us to take just a moment to listen to our postlude, at least for a little while before we break up, because these two young ladies have worked hard to prepare for this occasion.